What's going on, pursuers? Welcome to The Pursuit of Calling, the podcast that provides you with the strategies and tools needed to successfully discover and pursue your calling. Whether it's through inspiring stories, thought-provoking interviews, or quick, insightful episodes on personal growth and development, we've got you covered. I'm your host, Thomas Carney. Enjoy the episode. It's my last month of being a full-time employee after 8 years. I've talked with a lot of people about this transition from being a full-time employee to being fully self-employed to pursue my life coaching business, the Pursuit of Calling coaching. Some are excited for me and are super encouraging, and others are scared and wondering, like, is this wise? Is this smart? Like, are you making any money? Is the question I got. Do you have another job lined up? I told somebody asked. Some of these questions I've asked myself. Like, to be honest, some of these questions, other questions I've been asking myself are like, is this a rash decision? Because just because I had a bad week at work. What if I completely fail at being a business owner? No, and to answer some of the questions, no, I'm not making any money right now with my business. No, I don't have another job lined up. And yes, I'm scared. But in this episode, I want to talk about why I'm still moving forward. Part of me feels really dumb. Just being 100% transparent. Part of me feels so dumb. I have this little voice in my head that says, you're not making any money. You don't have any other income. What are you doing? Like, why put yourself through this? Your job is secure. It's safe. You have an income that is honestly as closely guaranteed as you can get because I have job security. You could stay there and nothing would change. And then I say, and then my other self says, yeah, that's the problem. I typically hate change, but man, I want change. And what's probably in my head right now is it's kind of a meme, but it's like on a team of people, somebody asked, like, who all wants change? And people raise their hand. Everybody raise their hand. Everybody wants change. And then they ask the next question. Okay, who's ready to change? Everybody puts their hands down. And I wanted to stop putting my hand down. Oh, man. God says in his word, he said this to Joshua, he said, have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened and do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. That's Joshua 1:9. Very, very, I think that's a very widely used verse when talking about courage. Right before God is telling Joshua if he followed the Lord, he said right before he said this to Joshua, he said this. He said, if you followed the Lord, followed him and the Lord's laws that were already laid out, if he followed and listened to what God told him to do, then you would have success. And to be honest, I think success back then was honestly just surviving, and it was surviving and like thriving as a community while relying on God's provision. That's why I'm doing this, and I'm going to explain what that means. I just realized in my notes, or that's why I'm doing this like 3 times. I want to do what I believe God is telling me to do, where the direction he's guiding me to go. I believe that, I believe God, he's a light on our path, but he's not like He's not showing us the whole path from point A to point B to point A, from point A to point Z. He's just showing us what's right in front of us. And I've heard the metaphor be used before that, like, it's like headlights on your car. They don't show you the whole way to your destination. They just show you what's right there. They show you enough that you know where you're going. I wanted to do this, like I said, because I want to do what God's, asking me to do. Even if it doesn't feel safe, even if I don't feel even though part of me feels like it's a dumb decision because I'm not making an income, I know God is with me. And if this is the wrong decision, then I know he'll redeem it and get the glory either way. And I'm reminding myself right now of an episode I did a little bit ago about not thinking about my future and my current circumstances. And just because I know, just because I'm not making any finances right now and I'm not making any money right now in my business doesn't mean I'm not going to be by the end of the month. That feeling excites me and just generates this drive. Okay. But during this whole process, I've during this whole process, I've talked with a lot, like I said, I've talked with a lot of people, a lot of mentors, a lot of friends, people in my inner circle who know me and who I trust their opinion of me and the goals I'm setting out to do. And as I've been talking with these people, I've been identifying the fears that I have. All of these are valid fears, and I know that, but these are fears that I have once the transition hits. Once I'm fully self-employed and am essentially I'm in it then. It's done. March 1st. One of the things I'm afraid of is, I've already kind of talked about it, financial instability. I haven't been without income for 8 months. Or 8 years, sorry. I haven't been without income for 8 years. Part of me feels like this is going to be like a hunter-gatherer season. I need to go out and kill something, take it home where I don't eat. I need to go out and I don't know if that's the right mindset or not, but that's kind of where my head's at right now. I also don't want to treat the people I'm aiming to serve I don't want to be oh man, I need you. So that shifts the way that I talk about my coaching, and I don't want to push anybody into doing they don't want to do. I want to be able to serve them in a way that is righteous. I want to serve them in a way that is holy. I don't want to serve them in a way where it's me pushing them to do something that they don't need or want because I need to make money. I don't want that to be my motivation. And that's why I have a financial foundation in my savings right now. I'm not going to give you the number, but it's enough for me to last a while. And luckily though, I know that God is my provider no matter what. I know maybe that sounds like a generic thing, but it's to say, but that I'm going to be relying on him so much in this season of before I'm making a income that is livable, I would say. Guiding, believing in him to be my foundation, believing in him to be my provider, whether that be for whatever that needs to be for. Cause honestly, man, I don't even feel like I know yet what I'm going to need his provision for. Because like I said, I have the finances saved up. So I'm going to need his provision just for honestly for sanity to help me to provide me with peace. I think that's something we don't really talk about that much as Christians. He's not just, yes, he's a provider of resources, but he's also his provision isn't just for like physical resources. It's for peace. It's for joy. It's for stillness in the storm. And I'm like, I'm just thinking about this now. Another fear that I have is letting people down. Like I've kind of touched on it. I've told so many people about this. The main people though I'm worried about letting down though are the people I'm aiming to serve. The people that I care about the most with this business and with this pursuit are those who I'm going to be serving, because that's who matters the most. Like, I don't matter at all. I'm the conduit for what God's calling me to do, and like God's provision. Like God's provided me with a gift. God's provided me with skills. God's provided me with a drive. It is up to me to utilize that in a way that brings Him glory. And so I want to serve people in a way that I get fulfillment from. And man, isn't that a cool thing when you get paid for it? Like, to have a business isn't to serve yourself, it's to serve others. That's the only reason to have a business. It's to improve the lives of other people. If it's about money, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. If it's all about money, money is a good bonus. I think money is like the reward for a job well done. That's the way I like to think about it. But no, I don't want to let those people down that I'm serving. And I want to serve people with my coaching. I want my services to be worth paying for. And I believe they are. I've coached enough people now to know that I'm at least decent at coaching. Like, I know it excites me so much to think like I can actually help change people's lives. So I just pray. One of my prayer of mine is that I don't get a big head. This is another fear of mine. I wasn't going to touch on it yet. Okay, we'll come back. I'm going to come back to it. But I don't know. Like, another thing is like, I don't know if I care that much about what other people think outside of my inner circle of friends and mentors. Like those are the people whose opinions matter the most to me. My inner circle, my mentors, my friends that know me the best, that are going to tell me and call me out on my crap. Like, I'm going to ask people, like, if I get a big head, if I get arrogant, tell me. Like, even ask Ian. Like, I guess I can ask him right now. Like, if an episode that I send to you to edit is garbage, like in the sense of like it doesn't serve people well, I'm speaking out of ego and not out of a servant heart, then tell me, just tell me not to say, hey Thomas, you shouldn't post this. Either record another episode or don't have one this week. I want to be able to have that accountability. I want to also figure out, and one thing I am actually practically worried about is my schedule day to day. I think it's fantastic though that I've had a 9-to-5 job for the last 8 years, like 8 years and 5 months, because it's taught me work ethic. It's taught me how to keep a schedule. It's taught me like, how do you prioritize work? But man, I have shiny object syndrome. And whenever there's not a clear structure set yet, I am so more susceptible to be like, maybe I can do that over there. Maybe that would be good to do for this part of the business. But then I maybe see a tab, maybe I have another tab open somewhere in it that like pulls my attention away to be like, oh, maybe that'd be a really cool idea to work on the podcast, because the podcast, like, I could like use AI to generate. I was doing this the other day. I could use AI to generate this thumbnail and like and use AI to generate this video. And like, AI is such a cool tool, but man, it's such a distraction. Man, I want to use it so much, but I also need to make sure that like I rein myself in sometimes. That's the kind of when I like it's a worry. I don't know if fear and worry is the same. You can use those interchangeably, but that's more of a worry than a fear, if that makes sense. Like, I know I can figure it out, but man, I know it's going to be a struggle at first to figure out what structure works best for me in that situation. So just pray for me in that. So what keeps me still and confident that this is the right choice, though? like I said, like the name of this episode, I feel like I'm going to keep it named this. I'll say it is what I'm afraid of and why I'm still moving forward. The reason I'm still moving forward is because I am confident that God is calling me to this. I am confident God's calling me to this. I want to have the courage to dive into this. And one thing I kind of asked in preparation for this, I came across the concept that courage does not equal confidence. Like I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I want to have the courage to do what God is. I want to be obedient to what God is calling me to do. I don't know how it's going to turn out. Like, but I have the confidence. I have the courage to lean into it, to go and do it, to go and take action, and the confidence that God has it worked out, no matter what happens. That makes sense? Let me know in the comments if that makes any sense. Now, what is one step, though, this week? What is one step of obedience you already know God is asking you to take, even though you don't really feel that confident? Maybe like you're scared like me. You're worried. You don't know the outcome. You're like me. You're like an analytical person. You want to find out all the little data points before like you move forward and take the first step. And God's just like, just take it. Even if it's wrong, take the first step in obedience. Even if you take the wrong step, even if it's the wrong step, God will correct your step. And if it's the right step, He's like, okay, here's the next one. And there's the next one. He's a light on your path. So what is that thing? That is that one thing this week that you can step out into in obedience, even though you're lacking confidence. Guys, thank you for listening to this episode of the Pursuit of Calling podcast. Guys, if you want a free coaching session, I got that gift for you right now. Go ahead and click the link in either the video description on YouTube or in the description on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening to your podcasts, and click the link for a free 1 hour discovery call. It's a way for you to be able to take all the puzzle pieces that you've been scattered in your mind of how you want to achieve what you're wanting to achieve. That's all these little tiny tidbits you've been thinking about as you've been going through life, like the dreams that you have. You're like, man, that'd be so cool. And like, the goal of coaching is to be able to take all these puzzle pieces, like take the mess that pile on the table and actually start putting those pieces together. That's what coaching does. So if you want that, if you're curious, go ahead and sign up for a free intro course now. Don't wait. And again, thank you for listening to this episode of the Pursuit of Calling podcast. Don't forget to give it a 5-star review, a thumbs up on YouTube, and guys, share it with your friends. See you next time. Keep pursuing your calling. Do it well. Do it with excellence. All right. Peace.